I always considered myself a New World kid and an adventurer, and I was always interested in cowboys and pirates and explorers and Lewis and Clark and Tarzan, and I never knew any of them were Jewish. One time, Herb and I are cutting back, and there was some bullies there who, did they tie us up?
Tied us up.
They tied us up, and I started to cry. And afterwards, they finally let us go because I guess I was crying. And Herb was so disappointed in me. And he said, my big cousin is crying. I said, no, I did it on purpose so that they would let us go. No. Russ and I, we had a tendency to take 4 days, 3 day weekends. And then we would love to cut school. And we go on one, and we loved Ernie Kovacs. Ernie Kovacs had this morning show, and we got on a couple of times. But the first time we got on, which was very interesting. Anybody have this? I push Russ. We get on television. Ernie's bringing people out of the audience, and he awards us. Gave me a set of flashlights, like 20 flashlights, and a portable radio. Mm-hmm. And Claire had seen us on television. Right. Now Russ took his booty home, and his father everybody was happy and proud and saw him on television. I get
lower
home.
Lower class.
I get home, and Sydney, these 20 flashlights, this, smash, because I cut school.
I said, that's the only time I ever remember Dad losing his temper.
One of these National Guard outfits went in for 6 months. In the beginning, they made me the medic, but I didn't like the sight of blood. They told me that I couldn't continue because my whites were never white. General looks at me and he says, "Soldier, you're not a soldier. You're a garbage man."
Judy Chattel was visiting.
Yeah.
And Eddie was trying on clothes, and he was saying, what do you think looks the best? So Judy decides to play a game on it. She'd say, "Oh, you put that one on again, Eddie. Let's see that one on." She had him changing. She had you changing about 5 or 6 or 10 times. Yeah. Well, I'm not sure. Let me see the other one again, Eddie. No, I think you look better in that one. No. Yeah. Eddie would be staring in that mirror.
I loved myself. I did. I always had that.
And that was what we were just saying before.
Enamourate. I want to go just like a girl married, dear old Dad. Mother was my ideal woman in that sense. She was. When I was working at the Herald Statesman, I had a night shift. I was the night city editor. And in the morning, I would drive out. I had my Peugeot 403 at the time. I'd drive out to Jones Beach, get there about, 11 o'clock or so. I'd spend a couple hours on the beach. And I pull in one day, and I come across, I'm walking to the beach, and I see this Mexican blanket and a pair of Fred Braun sandals, which were the very hip 8th Street Greenwich Village sandals at the time. And the New York Times opened to the crossword puzzle. And I said, "This is my kind of woman. I'm going to check this out." And so I put my towel down, and I'm waiting for the woman to come back. I'm looking at the thing. And all of a sudden, behind me, I hear, "Eddie, what are you doing here?" It's Mama. It was her blanket, her sleep, this. She had just come from playing golf. Wendy was an intellect. I love that. Wendy also had the credibility of being Helen's friend. And when we first met, Wendy was much more of a free spirit. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. And interesting and a wonderful mind. Mm-hmm. And she smoked marijuana with me. And so we get high together and more exciting things. And when she wants to be really light, she could...
When she wants to be charming, she could
be totally charming and bright and with it. And she was always better dressed than my sisters. So even though she was a feminist, I always tell the story about, this is Wendy, my second wife,
she's very charming.
Wendy Orange, Helen's friend. When I realized that I was attracted to her the first time, it was at the Soviet, protesting the Soviet discrimination against Jews at the UN Plaza or something. Mm. And Helen and everybody and the people are there, and they're all these tough feminists, and they're all angry and blah, blah, blah. And she had just gotten back from Italy, and she's wearing a Borsalino felt hat and some nice velvet pants. So she's this protester, but she's a sexy protester. So all of a sudden feminist, but it was also attractive, and voila. Anyhow.
Right.
So what would you do if you were on the Guinness Book of World Records? What could you do?
Well, I don't know. Liza thinks that.
Let's do it again.
Cold.
Cold, scared,
Freezing.
frightened.
Scared.
What? Frightened? Bear.
Okay, this is our Eliza's candle.
The red cool.
Boy, you can.
No, it'll mix the black. Now I cut this off, right, Daryl?
After it's thick enough, yeah. I had one out there.
Again.
Here we are, ladies and gentlemen, in Roaring River.
Let me hear you say it.
Okay, how about zoom,
Mary have a little lamb, a little lamb, a little lamb.
By one of the most fascinating characters it was Samuel Palache. He was a Barbary pirate. He used to sail with a kosher chef. The beginning of the 17th century. In fact, he sailed from Morocco. He sailed to Amsterdam, where he made a deal with William of Orange. Why don't we band together against Spain, and I'll also set up a trade treaty with you. Of course, I want 10% of the action, and I'm willing to take a pirate crew to attack the Spanish shipping. In return, I want Holland or Amsterdam to allow Jews to legally settle here. By 1610, the first legal settlement of Jews were allowed in Amsterdam and held their first services at the home of the pirate rabbi Samuel Palache. I call them Zion warriors. They invade the New World, they established Brazil, they established the first legal community in Recife for Jews in the New World, set up 2 synagogues. Anyhow, one of their leaders becomes a famous pirate of himself, and that's Moses Cohen Enriquez, and accompanied Pete Heim, the admiral, in the seizure of the Spanish Silver Fleet, the largest haul in piracy history, about $1 billion in today's currency. Moses, with his share of the booty or the plunder of his silver, set up his own pirate island off of Recife, named it Antonio Vaz, which was his Spanish name.